I mean, I know it was expensive, but do you think going to WrestleMania for the first time, you think like, man, we should have been doing this, or do you feel like, it's just it happened at the right time? Cause I know some people that went to shows and they got the front row seats, but then you can hear like how they choreograph the match, or whether if they say something, or whether if they're really good wrestlers and they just fill each other out. I would have kind of been like as a kid, but as now I can understand it, but then you enjoy it more because you got money, you can buy belts. Your parents wouldn't finna spend $500 on the belts. Like some of these belts, I don't know how much they were then. They probably were just expensive, but now like I can enjoy it more because you actually watch it and you understand the storytelling. Like back then, like when you have like Brian Penny back, like as a kid, like yeah, but then like as an adult, you like
get the filler out, yo.
Like get this. So I kind of want to see what it's going to be like once they go on Netflix. Are we truly going to get that back? Because I know they say it's going to be rated a certain. It's supposed to be right now they supposed to be PG-13, which I don't think it's PG-13.
I think the language is going to change.
I think the language is going to change. Because I know the other company, like man, they be cussing a storm, and it gives so much to like the character and like the storytelling. Like just to say a couple of curse words, they had more meaning. Like man, well, they WWE is a brand. It's a production. They have shareholders. They want to make sure it's clean. But I think going to Netflix allowed them to fall back on a lot of those rules that they have. Yeah, so like. With the Hell in a Cell and CM Punk and Drew McIntyre with all that bleeding, I don't know if that was planned or did they just play on it? Because when it was on Fox, if somebody was bleeding, they constantly switching the camera.
Yeah, they are constantly.
They constantly moving that camera. You can't. They just twitching back and forth, and then they give them a towel to wipe off to go back.
Yeah, but I think like when I watch AEW and I watch MJF, like man, some of them promos he cut. And when he be cussing, and then how, especially the one between him and CM Punk, when CM Punk was over there, whew, them promos were monster.
Wait, I gotta jump in. Just for you saying that, and it's glad you brought that up because they did just have a great promotion the other day.
Yeah.
What do you guys think the landscape of sports entertainment would be if WCW was still active today then? With AEW, with TNA, with WWE, if WCW was still active today, what would this landscape look like? Remember, with the crossing of the street too, because they going in TNA and they all the wrestlers are going over. How you think that'll look?
Well, who running it? Eric Bischoff?
Whoever kept the company alive. Whoever kept the company alive. I'm not gonna say Eric Bischoff, but let's just say some other company stepped in and said, "Hey, we're gonna save you guys." And you guys are still running today. Well, all the fourth wall breaking and all. Come on.
This is what I think would have happened because WCW was taking quite a few of WWF, World Wrestling Federation. I got to make sure I say that. Mm-hmm. They were taking a lot of their wrestlers at the time. I think Eric Bischoff would have just keep throwing the money and picking off of WWE World Wrestling Federation wrestlers. But I think, I don't know, I feel like AEW is like the WCW, where it's not a production. It don't gotta be polished. They cussing, they doing all these things. WCW was doing that at the time. It wasn't polished. You can even tell how the camera looked. It wasn't. I don't know if it was HD or whatever the resolution. Yeah, I don't think, but I think they would have been still fighting for ratings. But is ratings important now?
I think it would have made the other brands or companies more sharper because then you got more competition. Then you got like such and such did this or such and such did that. Like how can we top that? Or that's already been done. It'll make you be more creative because now the TNA still around.
Yeah, TNA going strong.
I ain't even.
They just had a big 6-woman match which featured WWE women, TNA women. You want to know something? Just to even interject in this. In my opinion, if WCW was still around, I think everything would be going as business as usual. I think everybody would be getting along like they are now. But even with them crossing over and going to different promotions, what I've noticed is that each promotion is scared to let their belt go to the other promotion.
Oh, yeah.
That is the biggest fear. So NXT don't want to drop their belt in WWE. AEW don't want to drop their belt in New Japan. New Japan is dropping their belt, but nobody else is playing ball.
Let's say we got to the point where the company got to the point where you see Austin pop up in WCW.
They could have did.
Yeah, that would have been.
What is it called? The Forbidden Door?
Yeah, but
That would have
had
been
it.
so great. Like, you just like,
Look,
man.
if they wouldn't have came out and admitted that they brought WCW and ECW, if they would have kept it secret and just ran this business as usual, they could have did it and made so much more money. The invasion plot would have had so much more meaning because now you ain't got just all these wrestlers in one place. You got WWE wrestlers popping up in WCW getting revenge for them jumping them in their pay-per-view.
And nobody know what's going on. They just
All
like,
of a sudden-
what's going on?
All of a sudden, ECW come there at the front door, kicking in the front door. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that would've-
I'm telling you,
that
that would have
would've
been
been
big
great.
money.
It would have.
Back then, they thought for the moment, and they didn't think for just the future of it.
I mean, I think in the 90s, early 2000s, I think ratings were so important to your broadcasting contract. You know, you got YouTube, you got Instagram, you got all these other platforms where you can just get the views and make revenue there. In them days, you had to be watched on TV. You had to. If you didn't, they'd be like, look, you're not getting the viewership you want. Because I think WWE brings in the most viewership of any sport on a weekly basis. It's like, it's crazy.
But just think about it. They could have called a meeting easily. They could have got the networks there. And if they would have broke the plan down like, yo, we doing good with this. Their numbers are strong. We're going to help them. We're going to do this. You know, if they keep it in-house as that conglomerate, when they talk business in that circle, everybody was going to eat because the ratings were going to drop. Because guess what? You watching them on Monday. Now you got to watch them on Tuesday because this happened Monday. Oh, snap. They on Thursday. What happened? They going to retire. So now it's going. You have prime real estate. You
Right.
ratings market.
But I think the way the universe did, it would have turned out how it always does. Somebody would get greedy and buy the other one out.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna buy all your employees, and that's exactly what happened. It's the same thing with any other thing.